Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the YesterYear Racing League. This evening, we're excited to bring you coverage of all the action from iRacing's virtual Thompson as we get set from the state of Connecticut. Maconi Entertainment is here to bring you action from all types of racing and go into the weekly Fast Friday series. No matter what you're racing, we can bring the action to life. My name's Justin Prince. Alongside the booth tonight is Jeremy Briggs. Nolan Rempo is our producer for this evening. YesterYear Racing League is a unique one here on the platform as it seeks to emulate historical races for the 1990 Whelen Modified Series and the 1990 S.M.A.R.T Tour. These races are identical distances to the real-world races that occurred, and tonight we bring you those bits of history throughout tonight's coverage once more. Tonight, we're featuring and emulating the AC Delco Eneco Wiper Blades 150, or for short, the Connecticut 150. Won in real life by Mike Stefanik. Jeremy, these are some of the top modified racers in all of iRacing, with drivers invited including OBRL, the Bootleg Racing League, and Red Light Racing Leagues, and several making their debuts here tonight. What should we expect to see from Thompson?
Thank you so much for having me tonight here, Justin. It's going to be an exciting race. We did a broadcast here just so recently with these drivers from the YesterYear Racing League, and they put on one heck of a show. We've got an awesome amount of cars here tonight, and I think this just over a half-mile track is going to put on some pretty crazy racing, especially with these tight turns when these drivers have to make that got to make the turns, so they got to slow down.
Especially when it comes to one of the more older tracks on the platform, Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park. It's an interesting one, especially not just with some of the banking differences, but as you can see with the rubber buildup, some drivers were testing out that second line earlier tonight for practice. It's a racetrack as well that in real life has since added a road course as of 2014. It's an interesting circuit with a lot of historical details to talk about in particular, because they called it at one point the Indianapolis of the East, because you're talking about some of the drivers like Jeff Bodine, like Ray Hendrick, like many more that have bitten their teeth into this racetrack before. Right now, the driver. Go ahead.
I'm really excited for this event, especially with the sim time being back to the 1990s. Fun fact about that is before I was born. So we're going to have to see how that plays out, and excited for this event. We'll have to see you and check in the qualifying.
Right now, it is currently Pittman at the top of that respective board. Ryan Pittman specifically over Rex Hoyle, Brian Johnson, Jeffrey Leiden, and Bruce Pearson. That's separated by about a tenth and a half. As you see a bit of a slide for one of those said drivers. Talked about Brian Bianchi, just jumped him to the top 5 at the end of that sentence. The championship itself, though, to talk about for this evening as well. Thomas Ogle, he's been the driver to beat so far. He did get a warning from incidents last time out of the paperclip, but he's one of the final drivers yet to qualify so far here tonight. He's been difficult to beat on the trot. So far, 2 wins see him at the top of the standings in the Latford system.
You got Thomas Ogle right there, but look no further than Ryan Pittman and Brian Bianchi right there in second and third. They both have wins under their belt as well. I think they can make something happen, especially when they're all pretty much running towards the front each and every week. Excuse me, each and every event.
You remember, Pittman's been picking up momentum as of late. In fact, one of the more recent races picked up his first victory. In fact, the most recent at Martinsville Speedway. That closed up the gap to 27 points in the standings, with Bianchi an extra 6 points back in that championship grouping. The championship threesome, so to speak, so far looking very strong coming into tonight's festivities. So, as we prepare for tonight's festivities and as qualifying, now it sees everybody except for Jerry Isaacs close things out on lap times here. It's, again, worth noting this race in real life historically went 1 hour and 17 minutes and 40 seconds. 13 cautions that night. Expecting a lot less here this evening, Jeremy. These drivers have averaged a lot less than double digits on cautions this season.
I I hope we don't have 13 cautions tonight, but anything can happen. These NASCAR Tour style modifieds being close together like that, a lot can happen when you get wheel-to-wheel contact with the wheels being open. We got 150 laps tonight, A lot can happen, a long time. Hopefully these drivers are extremely patient at the beginning to make it to the end of tonight's event, because there's no fast repairs, and we'll have to see how it plays out as the drivers begin to grid.
Let's take a look at how they qualified tonight. 22 drivers, one of our largest fields of the season. Time for the third most, in fact. Ryan Pittman starts on the pole tonight, an 18.511. Rex Hoyle starts second. Brian Johnson and Jeffrey Light in your top four. Ron Bianchi will round up the top five here this evening in one of the Culpeppers machines. Bruce Pearson in sixth, with Alvin Wanamaker in the seventh spot. Eighth position goes to Donnie Moore. Rory Collins starts ninth, and Thomas Ogle. And then Ted Christopher Sr. throwback rounds up the top 10. Nearing mix myself up with the iRacer, the junior.
Thomas Hilbert just outside of the top 10 there. Todd Liston coming here in 12th. Chris Davis was 13th. Lowell Jewell was 14th. Gavin Adams 15th. 16th is Torrance Childs. 17th was Ryan Sneaker. Chris Haslab was came home 18th here in the qualifying of effort. Steve Hilbert 19th. Lloyd Moore 20th. Rounding out the field was John Hastings. And I missed the last one there. My apologies.
That was Jeremy Isaacs, who did not put it in a time here tonight. Of note, EOL penalty for Thomas Ogle. That warning we mentioned was his third on the season in 5 races, Jeremy. And that puts him on thin ice, because that's an EOL to send him to the back, first of all, and he's in danger of more penalties if he has more.
Starting from the back, and you got to fight your way to the front, being a points leader here. Doesn't want to lose a lot of points, but he wants to be there at the end. But as you can tell, he's an aggressive driver. We'll see how it plays out. Pace car lights are off. Excuse me, pace truck lights are off. We're getting ready to come green here, Justin.
Just about ready to go racing here tonight. It's going to be Ryan Pittman in control, looking for the back-to-back in the 00. Can he do it, is the question. Quite happy with this here on Maconi Entertainment for the Connecticut 150. Back to racing, and yesteryear we're underway from Thompson.
Barreling into turn win here. Side by side for the lead. Rex had to check up there as Pittman tried to squeeze out just in front of him, but Rex is just trying to make that outside work as we're completing lap number 1.
And he does make it work. Rex Hoyle leads the first lap of the 505 Motorsports machine. And that gets exactly to the point when practice, why drivers test the top. A lot of drivers missing that bottom groove and having to run top side. It is a track that trends high side rather than bottom side. Trouble from the high side. Already some hard contact mid-pack. And Gavin Adams amongst those sent for a bit of a ride in the 30.
We will have to take a look at this wreck. So early on, looks like we might have lost a couple drivers. We get that replay. There we go.
Both lengths for Gavin Adams, and Ryan Seneker was the other. Seneker making his debut tonight for the BRL.
Oh.
Not the way he wanted that to go. He goes on his side.
Thanks. One heck of a ride. Looks like there might have been contact there from the 7th car there on the inside. Just up a little bit, right in the left rear. Other drivers just didn't have anywhere to go.
Chris Davis was that 7 you're talking about. So the virtual grip network machine sent on its side. Significant damage. Here's another look. Already both of them to the pit lane. Gavin Adams has already jumped out of the car.
Like I said before the broadcast, these open wheel modifieds, a lot can happen because they're just so sensitive to contact. You don't really get a lot of the side bouncing off of each other like you would with a normal stock car.
And already the drivers coming around for one to go next time by. Here's one more time. Take just a quick listen to the 30. And it's worth noting, just about every car now in iRacing now has the new damage model, so this is a good test after the build today.
You can definitely see a broken left front from that contact. Like you said, we're going to be 1 to green right here. Pace truck lights are off. We are old school here, single file.
So it's Rex Hoyle, Ryan Pittman, Brian Johnson, Brian Bianchi, and Jeffrey Leiden, your current top 5. The biggest mover before the caution, Lowell Jewell up to the 10th spot. 144 to go. We get back going. No passing before the start and finish line is the warning from race control as we get set to go racing. Back underway with the green. And back rolling through our 3-race New England stint for the schedule as Rex Hoyle keeps things clean as he runs topside.
Single file restarts kind of gives some breathing room so everybody can kind of make some moves and make some clean passes here. Get some of these laps ticked away. I believe that's our second green flag lap here early on. Top 4 all right there. A little contact with the wall there from Pittman.
Already seeing things line up behind him. In fact, Brian Johnson getting a little bit of a run. It's going to be difficult to pass, though, in theory. We've seen the top line be great for squeezing those to be able to make the passes off the 2x2 starts. And especially in the back, for example, that's going to make it tricky to get a pass in general, in theory.
Almost kind of a momentum-based pass. You got to make it happen when you can. Ogle, I believe, is up to 13th already. Clean so far. Made it through that wreck. Our points leader coming into tonight's event.
He's been fairly significantly consistent so far, especially when it comes to the season. He's been considered second best by Hubble, the AI program, for tonight. To the inside, Brian Bianchi. This is a move this time and Brian Johnson. One of the few so far to make the bottom line work. It looks like those who are better off the corner exit and not getting loose can make the pass, or they can squeeze like that with Wanamaker.
Woo. Squeezed him up off of turn 2 there. That was pretty close. As the drivers begin to move more and more up the track, it's going to clean that second groove up. But like you said, some of these drivers are definitely starting to make it work on the bottom. We'll have to see how it looks longevity. Long ways to go still.
One of those that was liked by the AI system tonight. Gonna see a right in front. It's lining off the tires, spoke in the back. Caution flag is out. Lowell Jewell in the grass with Chris Davis, and a spin on the front straightaway. Also around is Todd Liston.
Chaos everywhere. Okay, we're going to find some replays. Let's see what it looks like.
Yeah, a series of incidents there. It all started with the tire contact in front, but the second incident really ends the stack up.
I believe that might have been started by the 13 car of Ogle there. He might have gotten in the back of the 7. They might have pushed him up the track. We'll have to take a look at it.
And then that's why Liston ran around there.
3 wide on exit. Doesn't always work.
Here's another look once again from the back grouping. Did see a touch bit of contact.
Broadcaster's jinx. Just talked about him. It's my bad.
It's already seen some pit stops here. Here is a better look from the 13. Definitely pressurized him at least.
Just slight, just too much slight contact.
Under caution, and it's important to note some of those coming onto pit lane are already taking care of one thing this evening: mandatory pit stops. That is the first time this race is going to feature that. The drivers don't have to change tires this evening, but they do need to stop to satisfy said requirement. It was introduced this race in real-world history as well because they wanted to test how mandatory pit stop strategies would play out in the Winston Modified Tour. An interesting real-world rule coming into play here tonight to see if that works for the drivers here in this series.
Great insight there, Justin. Like you said, we are kicking it back, throwing it back to that event many years ago, back in the 1990s, here at Thompson. I believe it was called the Connecticut 150.
For tonight it is. The real world name was a lot longer, as we touched upon at the top of the broadcast, but it was a race where it was the best of the year, essentially, having to battle it out from 1988 to the best of 1989. Stefanik, the national champion for 1989, had to duel Mike McLaughlin for 16 laps to win the race that Sunday at Thompson. In the end, it came down to Stefanik, a legendary driver in his own right. He's been in the conversation. In fact, believe he is amongst those with the Hall of Fame in recent years for NASCAR's Hall of Fame.
Pretty awesome, though. We got some Hall of Fame drivers from this era in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, excuse me, as the pace truck lights are now off. Looks like Rex Hull is going to lead us to the green. Ryan Pittman, Brian Bianchi, Brian Johnson, and Alan Wanamaker, your top 5.
So one of the Culpeppers machines doing well tonight. We'll touch upon more of that sponsor later on this evening towards the halfway point. But Hoyle, he's been leading all the laps so far, back underway. Pittman trying a better diamond line a little higher up from Hoyle. He's been loose a bit off the start. And it's 2x2 bonanza, near contact for 8th.
Man, it is like a bee's hive, bee's nest back here. 3 wide. Doesn't always work, as we saw the last caution. The 13 car trying to make way here. Thomas Oil, our points leader, coming into tonight's event. Oh man, really tight off of 2 there with the 2 cars in front of him. This is one heck. Oh, stays off him. What an awesome move. Stay off that car in front of him.
Hearing some drivers having issues through the gears as well. Hazelip was trying to let everybody go high side. That includes Lloyd Moore now, for example, the Ricky Craven Motorsports machine. A lot of people having struggles at the bottom outside of Ogle, near contact with Old Jewel. Now he's alongside the 5 towards Childs, having problems down the straightaways.
Ogle really trying to get going here. Lost so much time on that restart. Already over 6 seconds back from the leaders. I believe this will put Ogle up to 11th though. After all that chaos, still on the track. Still trying to move forward as we look just behind him here. Side by side. Down the backstretch.
Yeah, a lot of that building up around the racetrack already. 125 to go. Will extend this upcoming time by here. Taking a look at Davis, for example, on screen. Despite the incident, the CDR entry doing well. Jerry Isaacs doing really well from the very back. Here's that side-by-side with Wanamaker, though. Brian Johnson, better run in the 27 Tattoo 72 machine.
Question about that mandatory pit rule. Do these drivers, do they pit under green if this goes green to the end?
Oh, that's a great question, because remember, you don't have to take the tires. In theory, you'd have to take the fuel, though. So, you can if you want to. It's not optimal, Jeremy.
Not trying to jinx it or anything, but we're getting some pretty good runs going here as these drivers are starting to get their cars underneath them, get some heat in these tires and get them figured out.
Yeah, that pressure is continuing to build for 2nd spot. Right now, Bianchi pressurizing Ryan Pittman. Pittman's going higher and higher in this, but he's still got a good diamond line down to be able to defend.
Pittman faster in other sections than Bianchi, as drivers looks like they are making pit stops under green. I'm not sure if the 30 was sitting there.
That's Gavin Adams,
okay,
actually, who's coming out of pit road. Interestingly enough, he did not choose to use the faster pair available, or rather, there is no faster pair available for tonight. So, he chose to come back out, try and score points. At least he's in 21st. Problem, he's right now in front of side by side in a hornet's nest.
hey, sometimes you never know. A lot can still happen. Even being 25 laps down, we still got a lot of laps to go. As these drivers, they're starting to put on some really good side-by-side action. Oh, we got one just scraped the wall.
Still stay running. Let's take a look at what you see. Wow.
Awesome save. That's Brian Johnson. Remember when I said Thomas Ogle was almost over 6 seconds back, almost 7? Well, he's got himself in 9th and closing in. We'll have to take a look. I think Ogle might be one of the fastest cars right now on this run.
Yeah, he's already worked himself up to the pack that features a lot of your front runners, including all the way up to 5th position. He's one of the few that's been able to make passes inside consistently. And now that the 30's got a spot in his pocket, he's back to the safety of pit road.
Get a couple laps, fix some more damage. We're calling it out. We'll have to see. As the 50 of Hoyle leads the way still a half a second over the second place battle. This is a great run right here.
It's getting very physical for 5th, I was about to say, though. Bruce Pearson just moved the 7 out of the way. Jerry Isaacs from dead last is all the way up to 7th. He's looking to be aggressive. You have Ogle in this grouping. They're not afraid to late arc each other here.
These are a pack of very aggressive drivers. They know it's time to go right now because they're starting to lose time to that leader, and that 13 car behind them is just making passes. Incredible drive by the 13 machine as he looks at the Isaacs machine 51, getting a really good exit there.
A little too tight off at this time, but I was about to say, he is getting much lower on the diamond line than anybody else. He's nearly on the flat portion of the banking around here. It's a touch bit flatter below all that newer pavement for the iRacing scan. He's using that to his advantage most laps.
This looks like the rest of the cars in front of him right now are just all over the place with the rear end. He just seems to have really good security on exit, getting that lower exit. Shorter way around the track as well. Might be helping the tires out in the long run.
110 to go next time by. This grouping is still, mind you, 5 seconds behind the overall leader. You know who's up on his own at this time, though? He's been able to pull away from this for now, is Donnie Moore. Want to touch on him for a second because for some reason, Hubble, in-house AI for YesterYear, really likes Donnie Moore for this racetrack. He's a longtime veteran across the Series C for these races. He's been extremely consistent here, though. It's one of his best tracks in all of league racing on iRacing. In fact, he's been able to finish multiple times inside the top 5 with a significant amount of laps led without making contact, should say. Hence why the AI really likes him for today.
And the number 4 sitting in 4th within striking range. Long ways to go as the leader is starting to get lap traffic. We'll have to see if this starts bringing the rest of the pack into the picture, as 1, 2, and 3 are pretty much within a half a second of each other getting to this traffic.
Here's the battle, though, going on for 5th again. Bruce Pearson's lost the bottom, and now everyone's found a way to make moves. Isaac's making the pass. Last time by, it was Davis. This time, Ogle with the touch bit of contact to get alongside.
Drivers might be taking notes from that 13 car who's making it work on the bottom, on the exits. Everybody just trying to find a good racing line, trying to find time. Any time right now helps because these cars are obviously all fixed setups, all the same setup. It's all about the drivers here tonight.
And remember, all the iRacing setups, the fixed side at least, got adjusted here today. 700 updated iRacing setups were part of today's build, especially with the changes. That's going to mean if you got your practice down before tonight, it very likely is a different set.
Cars might feel more out of control, might feel more under control. I haven't tested out any cars yet. We'll have to find out. These drivers are putting on one heck of a show here tonight as Pittman is really getting that bottom to work here, putting the pressure here on the number 50 in front.
Yeah, he's been staying lockstep for the race lead so far. How are you going to get it done tonight is the question. Lots of traffic ahead. They have 16th and 17th, Hilbert and Hazlett, who are just up the road for reference.
Leaders doing everything they can when they get to the lap traffic to get around them and get around them quick. They're just losing time behind slower vehicles like that. We got them. They're too wide in front of leaders right now. Well, they were about to be. That makes it even more hectic because the leader has really nowhere to go, and if you need to go, you got to go through wide to make it happen.
Yeah, how about side by side with the traffic? One wants to let him go, one wants to race it out. Remember, it's not quite as simple as get a caution, you get a lap back if you're the first of those. No, lucky dog is not a thing, remember. That was not a thing at this level in real life until 2013. You have to fight it out if you want to keep the lead lap.
It's definitely one thing I remember about 90s where was if you wanted to stay on that lead lap, you had to fight it. It's a headache when you're the leader, but when you're a lap car, you're doing everything you can trying to learn what that leader's doing and try to stay out in front.
That's why the 93 of Hazelip is really not backing down. He's staying on the racing groove. That's his prerogative with under 100 laps to go, but it's going to get interesting how it matches up on lap times. They're running 18.9s in the lead pack. No one's really taking advantage behind them. Everybody else is 2/10 off these drivers despite the lap traffic.
And that's crazy to think. This 93 car here of Hazlip, honestly, isn't doing too bad once the leaders got to him. Just been hanging out in front of him, making it kind of a headache there for the leader, but holding his own, doing what he's got to do for his own race is the best way to put it.
Reference, he's running 19.1s in front of the leaders, so the 19 flats now behind him. It's not enough with the pace is currently running to catch up to the others, but no one is making the same inroads in this field currently to close up the gaps. Oh, nearly into the wall of the 50. There's the 41. He wants to get something going to get to his teammate. He's looking for second. He's nearly there.
As Rex Hoyle tried to get a nose underneath that lap traffic in front of him. Almost had it. Really trying to get a good run on the exit. Gonna get on the inside. Oh, drove it in deep.
Seen a slide for the 52. No caution. We stay green. Big checkups, though, for the lead pack. You see Donnie Moore. He's also dropped to 6th. There's a look at the leader. He's trying to go and make the run high side. If anything, he's going higher and higher to the marbles just about to try and pass him. This is what happened to Hilbert.
Great save. Really great save, honestly. Could have just spun it out and had a caution come out, but keeping it green.
Cooking in the grass for the safety of the field. Team 1-3 still for those Culpeppers machines. They are reaching more traffic, though, by the way. They're reaching Thomas Hilbert, the other Hilbert in the field here tonight, Rory Collins. They're in risk. Also, at this rate, it's now getting to where the fall off is starting to get significant. Davis has clipped half a second off the gap to the leaders. Hoyle wants to do it now. He's alongside the 93, wants to lap him.
Top side momentum's gonna keep it going. We got a side by side battle for the lead now as Rex pulls it off. Pittman got into the marbles right there. Number 50 is ready to roll, get around this lap traffic.
Trying to make the pass for the lead. Instead, he has to defend for second. Looks like he's going to, for now, hold off the charges. Despite Bianchi's successes on the bottom, now he got cleared. Bianchi just cleared himself right into Pittman's armco, or rather, into his Nerf bars.
I'll have to check and see if there was contact there. That was definitely close racing as we check on the battle for fourth between Davis, Isaacs, Moore, and Ogle. Ogle really trying to continue his march forward. Now down to 5 seconds. With these leaders having to battle lap traffic. I'm still curious about these pit stops. It's been green for so long.
Yeah, and better yet, it's down to under 4 seconds for this pack compared to the race leaders. The usefulness of having the 93 with racing with the leaders, it has completely faded. Because now, the 93 has fallen off. Hoyle wants to go. Now he has Bianchi, his teammate, trying to find a way to poke. Now has to play defense again.
Gonna have to see if the leader decides that it's time to maybe use a little bit of bumper action, because that lap traffic is holding them up and using that top line to keep the momentum rolling. A little chain reaction is each time the leaders get to the lap traffic, they can't make the pass. We'll have to see if it happens this time into 1 and 2.
John Hastings just parked it, just about sent it up into a light post through the grass. We stay green, also slow. Torrance Childs, he's staying to the bottom. He'll go to the pit lane, he says, this time by in the 5 car. A couple different notes there as they continue to battle out with the lap car. The gap between them and Davis is under 3 seconds and is closing a 10th a lap. Now Hazelip is getting extremely loose in front of the 50.
And the 50 of Hoyle is getting extremely impatient. As we take a look. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, he just about took the jump. He's parked it since then. But you were saying they're getting aggressive. Hoyle's just about burning up his stuff trying to get this done. As there's the 5 back on track, he's got a black flag. All that's well. Finally, the leader has gotten by, and oh, look at that. The 93 says, why not go on by now that he's lost the lap, and he makes contact with Pittman.
Lap traffic being slightly difficult tonight. I have to say, Ogle from the back to the front here. This is incredible.
And Torrance Childs, not sure where he might have picked up the black flag. He is mightily slow here. Like that, it's like he coasted to the pit lane, missed his stall. I think he might have had something with the fuel or something, I'm not sure. With 80 to go. And I think he found it.
We'll have to keep an eye on the rest of these drivers also. Pit stops might be coming. I don't know how this is going to work as we're getting ready to be halfway.
So quickly the race is gone here tonight. Flying on by time of evening now that we have the couple cautions to start things off. The lap traffic now moving its way out of the way for the most part up from the leaders. So this is going to be the true test for many drivers. Can these intervals hold, or better yet, does Davis have to pace along with everybody else that now has to deal with the 93, including Jerry Isaacs, your absolute rocket. He's gone from 22nd to 5th.
A lot of hard chargers in this field. Comers and goers all over the place as we're getting ready to go to halfway. Next time by. Laps are really clicking off quick. So far, so good on that 13 cautions.
Cross flags next time by indeed here as keeping the pokes is Donnie Moore. No place to go. Ogle nearly bumps into him. They keep themselves line to stern though to that halfway point in this race, with the vast majority of the field yet to do their mandatory pit stop. In fact, your first, second, third, fourth, all place drivers yet to take pit stops after halfway this race. The first to take the pit stop is Jerry Isaacs. Thomas Ogle did the same. Lloyd Moore, Todd Liston, the others are inside the top half of the field to take their service so far. So if it does go green, it's looking great for Isaacs.
We'll keep an eye on that story. As Isaacs, like you said, made that pit stop. Is it going to play into his hand? This might work out quite well. Ogle was definitely on the charge there. Obviously was the leader. Oh, second place gets loose out of turn 2. Bianchi saves it. These drivers are starting to lose the handle on their cars. Right rears are getting hot. We're only to halfway.
Just passed it, in fact, and Bianchi, bye-bye. A little bit of a hot moment there, but able to drop back into line to 4th. So, you know who's back up to the lead group? As you see how things are going in the second pack, that's got a loose moment for Moore. The 26, forcing a lip from Liston. Able to keep it going despite the sliding and slipping. Lloyd Moore nearly having a moment too.
This race is really getting interesting now. We got slipping and sliding all over the place. This green flag run, I'm not sure how many laps it is, but it has been a great one.
It's been a zippy fast one, but I was about to say, look at 3rd spot, because Davis, he got bounced around a couple cautions ago. In fact, the first caution, he's running with the Tommy Baldwin 7 on the car tonight. He's ready to pounce for 2nd.
The 7 machine of Chris Davis is really on the move, really drove to the leaders, excuse me. We'll have to see how quick he can make these passes as we look from above. Oh, gets a little loose there on the exit of 2.
Just can't get the pounce down yet. Pittman's been very strong, though, backing up that pace last time out, though. He's looking extremely solid to be able to keep this up, though. Look at the run, though. He's nearly got a chance. Hoyle missed the bottom for a moment. But yet again, it's 3 and 4. That seems to be his bugaboo compared to Hoyle, who loves that end.
All 3 drivers better in one spot than the rest of them. And that's why they're all 3 up front right now. They've all got the same speed. I think the 7 car of Davis might be the fastest one right now, as he has drove, like you said, from way back, and just this green run has made lap traffic look easy and everything.
They are kicking up the speeds too through the 18-second bracket. The track temperature down to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. It's getting interesting how those weather conditions are playing out. However, the more laps that turn, the more this allows Bianchi to close back up, and others are slowly making a chip on the gap. Davis, he got loose. That allows a close up again for the 41.
Bianchi licking his chops, trying to get those positions back. So we got a 3-car battle here. Ogle, Moore, and Isaacs. All 3 cars, all 3 cars make contact. So 4 of Moore is in the sandwich here between the 51 of Isaacs and the 13 of Ogle, as these drivers continue to try to catch back up to the leaders while also making passes.
Another drift from Ogle this time. Yeah, at this rate, how much longer do you think they can handle this? They're starting to get all loose. You have drivers scraping the walls down, but also you don't want to be in the pit lane or laps down when you pit under green here. That's going to put you 2 laps down.
But if you go 2 laps down quick and we go green the rest of the way, that might make you king. This is really going to make some strategy have to play out here. You're going to take 2 tires, you're going to take 4 tires. Do you need fuel? There's just so much going on right now. We got 60 laps to go.
So based on what you're saying is you're a gambling person. You would go for the risk.
At the way this is going right now, I feel like, yeah, I'd get ready to pit here in the next 10 laps. It's been green for so long, and maybe those fresh right side tires will make me just king. We'll have to see how it plays out. See if one of these drivers take a gamble with just under 60 to go.
Lloyd Moore, he wants a spot. Just about clears himself in front of Brian Johnson. And now he goes for the slider to do the job instead. That gets him back inside the 11th position. Crowder to 10th position.
Got little packs all around the track. The leader's going to be coming up to about 5 lap cars. Just about a second in front of them right now. Closing on in. Gonna have to make those passes quick as the pit machine is all over the back bumper, ready to pounce. As the 7 of Davis is slightly started to fade here. Not sure if maybe he's just trying to take a deep breath and let his stuff cool off, but he's got a lot of pressure here from Bianchi.
Now the mini packs really starting to group together, but the first of those will have to be dealt with by the leaders. Should be no issue throughout the race today. Torrance Childs has given a lot of space. That's why immediately straight to the apron to let by the race leaders for now. Next grouping, though, could be interesting. You have Thomas Hilbert again, you have Rory Collins, you have Jeffrey Leiden, you have Lowell Jewell, and then you have East Lafayette again. So it looks like for some they're cordial, and the 93 just about stopped on the track trying to get to the pit road.
He's a 93, maybe trying to take that gamble, even being a lap down already. We'll have to see what happens. 93 on pit road. We'll take a look.
Here's the thing. Watch where he tried to slow down here. Any other moment, this might have been a caution. Watch how high he's up at the speed. Below 30, that's a caution.
Looks like went with the right sides. We'll have to see how this plays out with almost 50 laps to go. A lot of drivers still need to make their mandatory pits.
Especially your top 4. Isaacs is still in that net advantage if it stays green. Here's a look at your leaders. Pittman, he's thinking about a move before they get to the next layer, because the next layer, they're side by side, line into the wall. Good checkup by Pittman. Hoyo avoids contact.
Boy, this lap traffic is being chaotic tonight. This is just puts on for some great racing. But if I'm the leader, I'm just cannot wait for this race to be over.
Yeah, lots of it to deal with still down the straightaway. One car, Alan Wanamaker, he's pitting. And the pit window's open for your lead lappers.
Drivers have decided, at least Alan Wanamaker has decided that he needs to take that pit because we're pretty close to going green the rest of the way. Knock on wood. We'll have to see how this plays out for the one of Wanamaker.
You know the funny thing, the last person who said that was for the iRacing Fixed Indy 500. We ran out of wood to knock on when the caution came out. So, commentator's curse involving wood.
I don't have any wood to really knock on, so we're in some trouble here.
I
So
mean,
we'll have to see how this plays out.
does faux wood count?
We'll go with that, yes.
You know who's doing really well all of a sudden, despite the loose moments? 26, Lloyd Moore is on the drive. He's up a couple spots the past few laps. He seems to have been able to get into a rhythm. Brian Johnson, after that pass, says, I should pit now because I got passed.
Drivers starting to make decisions. Oh, we got one almost around on the backstretch, keeps it straight. Looks like that was the 4 of Donnie Moore.
Fellow Moore nearly went around, so we stay green. Look out.
Great save. Wow, these drivers are really putting it out there.
That just stepped out.
Whew.
Coming to 42 to go. Race leaders, yet again, have cars that do not want to lose the lead lap in front of them. The 2 in the 62, Lloyd Jewell, as well, Lowell Jewell should say, and Rory Collins right on top of the leader, both of them running different grooves.
I can't believe nobody else hasn't pitted yet. But with all these drivers being this close and in traffic, it might lead to a caution just trying to get to pit road.
Ray Collins trying to back it up. Rex Hoyle trying to get a lineup. Looks like he's finally able to get alongside to lap the number 62. Now Lil Jewel. Usually he's cordial in this regard. Looks like this time, knowing there's no lucky dog, he's not making it as easy yet.
Two drivers running pretty high in the turns right now. Got to be careful. There's a lot of marbles up there. We've had a lot of green flag racing, a lot of tire wear. There's only one place for those rubber balls to go, and that's on the racetrack. We got 39 laps to go. We got pit stops that need to be made. Looks like the 4 might be on pit road.
And confirm, Donnie Moore's risk it. He's going a couple laps down as he took tires here. So
I've been watching the one of Wanamaker. It took him about 4 to 5 laps to start getting the speed back. I think he put right sides on.
as we continue to move on with tonight's action, one of the things we were to debut here tonight, it looks like based on the rate things are going, we'll potentially have the post-race with how things are going, is the Culpeper's Bakery and Colony Tire check-in. Well, I just about to mention that, and some of those drivers involved in that grouping just about have incidents with the lap cars, but I was about to say, that's the opportunity with those coming in as sponsors with the Culpeper's team. They're really trying to spark a caution for that conversation.
Oh, we got one. Oh, my
goodness. They will.
We got one down. They got one in the infield there. 2 car.
Still green. Lil Jewel gets back going as everybody having a moment or 10. Rex Hoyles ran away. This is Lil Jewel getting loose in front of the leader.
Wow. Absolutely chaotic right now. The 2 car made it to pit road after the incident. As Chris Davis trying to just get away from this weight of Brian Pittman.
34 to go, and was about to say that check-in. Rex Hoyles so far has been looking prime as one of those Culpeper's machines up in the front. Rob Bianchi has had a couple moments over the course of this check-in so far. He's still 4th.
I think every car on the track, I believe, has had a moment at some point tonight. Absolute chaos. Looks like we got 9 cars still on the lead lap right now. We still got pit stops that need to be made, and we got 32 to go.
So once again, segment tonight, the Culpeper's Bakery and Colony Tire check-in. So far, Culpeper's 1-4 as a team. They've been at 1-2 at one point, really putting themselves as a staple up front down to the final 30 or so laps coming up here. Yeah, this is now to where Rex Hoyles absolutely ran away because these 3's tires are gone.
It's almost like Rex might have been saving just a touch because he's just driven away. Just making it look easy now.
Still, yeah, 2 laps down for those who have pit so far. It looks like Liston's in. So that's another who bites the dust here. 29 laps to go. And it looks like the continuing pit wave now includes more of the lappers, including Lil Jewel. These leaders refuse to blink. Right now, Davis still holding on to second, though, despite how loose it's been. Bianchi's saying, hi, I'd like the 1-3 back. Thank you very much.
As Pittman had to just slam the brakes to avoid lap traffic there.
Yeah, that was Childs on the brake. And Bianchi holds up the run from Pittman. Guess who's back? Jerry Isaacs.
Guess who's also in the picture? The 13 of Ogle.
And both of them have pits so far. So they are both good to race it up front to the end.
These laps are just clicking away so quickly here. 45 minutes into the event, they're just knocking these laps down. This has been some great racing here, Justin.
It's been a thriller so far. Net strategy leader is Isaacs. Even if there's a caution, expect him to be at the point. We'll see. It depends on if he stays out, if there was one. 24 to go. And Davis holds on for dear life. Right now, Bianchi wants the 1-2 for the team back. Seems to be quicker, but no place to take the run.
Looking high, looking low. Just trying to get that run, to get beside that number 7 to really let him know he's there. I think the leader might be getting ready to pit. I'm not sure. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, just trying to build the run again. Looking inside, no, looks for diamond lines instead. It almost looks like you need to get a right moment. How about both of them choosing the same line for a moment for a bump and a run?
Thought about it, backed out of it. Could have been a caution right there. That would have been some pretty chaotic events to ensue there. But the drivers kept it straight. Bianchi with a good heads-up move. As he now tries to get on the inside of Isaacs, going into 3 and 4. Isaacs gets loose.
Oh, they're both slamming Nerf bars. Bianchi, Davis, side by side. 20 laps to go for second. They both have to pit. They both want the same position. Davis drifts loose again.
Continuing side by side here down the straightaway. Davis still in second place that time by. As the 41 of Bianchi gets loose, he's going to make that pass. Down the backstretch, he's going to pull away from Davis.
Had to use him up. He had to use him up, absolutely. 18 to go at the stripe. Yeah, he's not going to be a fan of that, but at that point, they're both weeble wobbling with how loose the tires are getting.
And these laps are clicking away extremely quick. They're going to have to all start turning left to get to pit road.
Quite simply, all you need to do is stop in the box, take some fuel, go. 9 seconds is the estimated for those that need a pit. Isaacs, he's now jumped Pittman on track. He's got a buffer for now at least over Ogle.
Tempting to be in the catbird seat is Isaacs right here. With that strategy early on to get it over with. We're gonna have 15 laps to go. We got about 14 drivers that need to pit.
Well, the precise number right now that need to pit is 6. Here's the problem.
I doubled it by accident.
Well, here's the problem. 3 of them are your top 3. You also have 5th on track in Pittman, Bruce Pearson yet to pit, Leiden, who's a lap down, yet to pit as well. So you have gambles as well for the lap car of Leiden at least, where you hope the leaders pit and then you get a lap back.
You gotta hope you get a lap back because there is no lucky dogs.
Oh, here we go. Pittman is in. 13 to go. So when does everyone else blink, Jeremy?
That's a good question because there's not very many laps left. They gotta make it happen. They gotta make it happen soon. It sucks biting the bullet. It'd be very catastrophic also to have that yellow flag while you're on pit road. I completely understand.
Can confirm Pittman just took an 8.2 second stop, so a splash and dash with the fuel jug. That still puts him only in 9th. Second car and lap down right behind a position, in fact, but yet to get a lap back. Isaacs still in the catbird seat, but he has Ogle charging, coming at 10 to go. 4 stops, Hoyle, Bianchi coming in this time. This is the lap, it seems, at least for the Culpeppers cars.
Isaacs, I believe, should be taking over the lead once everybody's pitted, as Davis is taking over the lead with 10 to go here.
Coming in 9 laps to go. The battle for the net lead is currently second. Ogle, he's looking inside. Still yet to get a run. He's been trapped behind Isaacs this entire run. Can he do something, anything, to make the move without contact?
Our former leaders blend right in front of the current leader as they keep themselves from going more laps down.
That's huge for the track position if there was a caution flag.
Oh,
Alan Davis!
Oh no! Keeps it going.
We stay green, but Isaacs is under attack. Isaacs whipped it off the gas. Ogle did not. Ogle to the inside. Isaacs side by side. 6 laps to go.
Side by side through the field right here for this battle. I'm not sure who's on the lead lap and who's not, but we just got a bunch of cars together as the battle for the lead is on. Our points leader, Ogle, started from the way back after penalty from the last event. Can he come out of here as the victor?
6 to go. Ogle is clear. You also throw Lloyd Moore in the mix. He is on the same cycle as everyone else here. These 3 are good to go for the stops. Lloyd Moore, 7 seconds back in line for a top 3. 5 laps to go for the race leaders. Ogle starting to run. Isaacs trying to hold as everyone else builds up behind him.
3rd place. I believe Lloyd Moore has pitted. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 8 seconds back. Could at least steal top 5 here for the Moore machine.
He pit on the first caution this race, by the way. 141 laps into the stint. There goes Davis. He had to pit. He already lost a lap. That puts him way far back for this one. Down to the final 3 laps. Jerry Isaacs will need 1 more charge to do something here. Just 5 on the lead lap with this strategy. 2 laps to go. Isaacs is closing.
Isaacs with the great entries. Ogle with the great exits. Drivers battling hard here. Ogle tries to just get some down there, get that flatter surface, and it worked off of 2. Isaacs driving it really hard into 3 and 4. We're coming to the white.
White flag is out. Final top round brought to you by Maconi Entertainment. Isaacs looking to do it clean. Ogle looking to play the defense. 1 more chance for a send. Davis comes out in front of them. Isaacs goes for a bump, hits the brakes hard, tries to get the timing down. Ogle opens the bottom, side by side. It's Ogle who holds him off.
What a finish by these 2 drivers. 150 laps came down to that. I don't know how long that green flag run was at the end, but that was awesome.
Yeah, that is obviously not how things went in the real world race in 1990. But hey, the script sometimes gets lit on fire. And Thomas Ogle plays the strategy right, pits on one of the first cautions of the race, and gets it to go green for more than 130 laps.
What a finish there at the end for the lead. All that chaos ensuing with all the pit stops. We'll have to see how the finishing positions played out as we look at Thomas Ogle, tonight's winner.
So the points leader, Thomas Ogle, gets the job done tonight. He picks the right strategy and gets to celebrate. Take a bit of a break. Post-race coverage coming up. You're watching Maconi Entertainment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Maconi.
With the launch of Maconi Entertainment and Maconi Competizone alongside Maconi Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MaconiSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Maconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back to tonight's coverage of on Maconi Entertainment of YesterYear. As YesterYear Racing ends up having a barn burner, let's take a look at your unofficial race results here tonight. The one pit stop rule that was implemented in real life definitely took some tests here tonight, as it goes green for nearly the whole race. Thomas Ogle hit on caution 2 and comes up with the W. Isaacs in second. Lloyd Moore pit on caution number 1 tonight. He finished in third. Rex Hoyle and Brian Bianchi rounded the top 5. Hoyle and Bianchi had been 2 of the dominating drivers tonight. In 6th tonight, Ryan Pittman, Rory Collins, Todd Liston, Brian Johnson, and Bruce Pearson, your one-lap downers after the fuel and the pit stops.
11th were 2-lap downer start with Donnie Moore, Alan Wanamaker, and Jeffrey Lydell, in 13th. That's our 2-lappers. Next after that, 4 laps down, Chris Haslip, Thomas Hilbert, and Chris Davis. Torrance Childs was in 17th, 11 laps down. Lowell Jewell was 34 laps down at 18th. 19th, John Hastings was 88. Stephen Hilbert, 20th, 91. Gavin Adams, 142 down in 21st. And Ryan Sneaker was 147 laps down, involved in that early wreck as well. Well, Justin, I think we're ready for some drivers.
Yes, indeed. Let's talk with your top 3 finishers. First up in the standing on by. It ends up going to Thomas Ogle tonight. Tom, was that how you drew it up or not?
Yeah, I found out I had an EOL like right when in the driver's meeting. I didn't even know, so I just figured I'll just work my way through and hope for a top 10. That I didn't quite have it going green the rest of the way drawn up, that's for sure.
Well, let's go into your mind as the run went on and you and Jerry Isaacs were the net leaders because of all things that happened there.
Yeah, I kind of realized that with I knew they could go like 135, 137 with the caution. So I just didn't want to get into anybody and be the caution. So and then Jerry had some damage, he said. So I once I realized we were definitely racing for the lead, I kind of got a little bit more aggressive. Because you can't really run hard, you can save a little bit of tire there at the end,
Yeah, an interesting night overall, though, to say the very least, as you start off the New England stint of the season with the W. Next time out, it's going to be Stafford. Your thoughts on going to Stafford, as that race will be June the 25th. Then we have that break until August.
This track races quite a bit like Stafford, so you can run the middle and hold guys off. So and tires don't seem to wear either place. So it'll probably go a lot like this, hopefully I don't have an EOL then, but I don't want that challenge. It's not like a part of the plan,
Indeed. So, anyone who want to thank for the run here today?
I want to thank Alan and the guys that run the league for all the work they put in on the league. I want to thank Jerry for really racing me clean and Alan for racing me clean there. He was on new tires, and I would have wanted to let him go, but I didn't want to lose time, so I was just kind of riding there. But I should also thank him for the EOL and me getting fuel, I guess.
Well, once again, congratulations on the
Thank you.
victory as you end up being one of just 3 who end up satisfying that pit road requirement rule during the early cautions and getting the top 3 as a result.
Yep. Just fuel is what decided it.
Tom Olgo gets it done. I think he doesn't realize there was a mandatory pit stop rule. But you know who is second? Jerry Isaacs. He finishes things up with Jeremy.
Jerry Isaacs, it's us up in the booth. Walk us through your night, man. That was quite the run there at the end with all the green flag laps. When did you realize that your early pit was going to play out?
You know, I messed up. It all started up when I messed up qualifying. I don't know if you guys caught that. I hit the wall and messed up both my laps. So I had to start from the back. And, you know, at that point, you're in the back. We had an early caution. I'm like, well, if it goes green, I'll be in good shape. So went ahead and pit, just fueled up and was hoping it would be good. And to answer your question, I think somewhere around lap 100, I was thinking, okay, I might have a shot here.
We were watching it up in the booth. Justin pointed it out quite quickly that you were pretty much in the catbird seat there for a while, and Olgo just made the pass. What did you need there to hang with Olgo there at the end?
I needed to not hit the wall on lap 112. I think I was maybe a little faster than him, at least on pace with him, and had a second gap. And then I hit the wall lap 12, got some damage, cost me about a tenth or 2/10 a lap. So at that point, the car was a real handful, and I knew if we got clear, he'd probably pass me. I didn't have anything for him because I was just fighting the car so much.
Well, great run. Position number 2. Who do you got to thank for getting you here tonight?
Oh man, I want to thank, of course, YesterYear Racing, putting on a great league. This is a whole lot of fun. Maconi Entertainment for broadcasting it, and I'd want to thank Mad Spartan Sim Racing for putting me in the car. Last but not least, need to thank my mom. Hi, Mom.
Good stuff. Great racing tonight. This league definitely put a great race on tonight. Thank you so much, Jerry, and congratulations on position number 2.
Thank you, man. You guys have a good one.
Yes, you do. Thank you.
Jerry Isaacs coming away second tonight. Lloyd Moore ends up finishing in third. Lloyd, you end up being one of those who pit on the first caution of the night. You end up getting a podium for it. How are you feeling?
Pretty damn lucky.
So, obviously, the first caution was a huge one in terms of for some of the drivers. What's going through your mind after you took the stop and already had the mandatory stop essentially checked off for tonight?
Well, these modifieds and stuff, generally you can stretch the fuel, and tires normally aren't too big of an issue. And I've raced enough races here at Thompson on just regular iRaces and stuff. And like I said, I just figured I better check it off. And I was starting in the back anyway. I didn't get much practice time. I was out working on a vehicle, so I came in right at the last minute. So I just figured I'd start in the back and ride around. And I figured we were going to have a lot of yellows and just kind of let the carnage take care of itself. And these guys drove one hell of a race tonight to keep that green as long as we did. And I lucky.
And in turn, get yourself a good points day as well, we'll say. So, on that note, your thoughts on the next race at Stafford?
That's a track I haven't run a whole heck of a lot of. I'll have to get a little bit of practice in, but it'd be another one like this. It'd be a dogfight. You know, these cars are pretty equal and stuff. So, and like I said, you can lean on the tires, you know, pretty well, and this horsepower. So I like this car. This is a good group of guys to work with. So we'll see where it stacks up.
Anyone you want to thank for the run tonight?
Yeah, I got a Top Flight Racing, the race team, and Duramac Truck Bodies and Magnum Headache Racks, my employer and a sponsor.
Once again, congratulations to the run, Lloyd.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you guys broadcasting.
That's Lloyd Moore coming away with the top 3 here tonight. And let's see if we can get one more word. Brian Bianchi, do you have a copy? We'll try this one more time. Brian Bianchi, do you have a copy? It appears Brian Bianchi has walked away. Was going to check with him on the Culpeppers Bakery and Company Tire check-in. Unfortunately, the check-in seems to have gone to check on the tires after that run. On that note, I'd like to thank the top three for taking the time to speak with us during post-race coverage here on Maconi Entertainment. Your thoughts, Jeremy?
What an eventful night. This was really great to be a part of. There was so much to talk about. The drivers saving their cars coming off of 2, trying to keep the race going as green as long as it did. That was a great run at the end, and it was awesome to call the action.
And that race in turn brings us next to Stafford. That's in a couple weeks' time on June the 25th. Your thoughts on going to East Stafford?
My thoughts are these drivers are going to put on another great show. I was hoping the drivers were going to be ready for Stafford, but it sounds like some of them might have to get some practice. But the event that they put on tonight, I'm excited for the next one for sure.
So on that note, we'd like to thank the YesterYear Racing administration team led by Alan Wanamaker for their work in bringing this league to life. Calling the action tonight was myself, Justin Prince, alongside Jeremy Briggs. Nolan Rempel was our producer. Thanks to our viewers for watching tonight's action. I hope you stay tuned to our social media pages for our next race. Thanks once again to the entire staff for their work in bringing this racing to you. This has been a production of Maconi Entertainment. We'll see you next time.